Hey there YouTube, this is CFL Fanatic. Here I am giving you my picks for the division finals in the 2011 CFL season. 3 more games to go. I apologize last week. I accidentally uploaded a blank 6-minute long blank screen. I don't know what happened. I fixed it recently. My picks were Montreal and Edmonton, so I went 1-1. Hamilton with an incredible overtime win over the Montreal Alouettes. Thankfully, the trend of the Alouettes getting to the Grey Cup and making it a really crappy game and playing very poorly and winning based on the other team doing terribly or winning an ugly game is over, and the three-peat is done. I could not be happier. All right, so let's take a look at the playoff picture right now. This is how it stacks up. Hamilton, once again, 52-44 over Montreal, the highest scoring game in a highest scoring playoff game in CFL history. So Hamilton advances to the East Final against Winnipeg. Edmonton beating Calgary 33-19. They move on to the West Final against BC. So it'll be Hamilton in Winnipeg, Edmonton in BC, and the winner will go to the 99th. Or the winners will go to the 99th Grey Cup. All right, so we'll get right to it. First up, the Eastern Final. This one, many people expecting Montreal-Winnipeg, but thankfully Montreal is gone. I am so excited. Can you tell I'm happy that Montreal's gone? Anyways, so Hamilton and Winnipeg. Now, going into this, I was thinking that Hamilton was not going to have a shot, but after seeing the way that they played against Montreal, I have to reassess, because if they can put up that sort of offense, they'll be doing good. Now, here's the problem for the Tiger Cats. 52 points in a game is incredible. When you put up 52 points, you're obviously doing something right on offense. And Hamilton was shaking it up. The receivers were making fantastic grabs. Coburn and Thigpen each did a great job in terms of the ground game. Glenn and Porter were able to mix it up. Glenn got injured. Porter comes right in without even missing a beat. The offense marches it right down to score a touchdown. So good job for Hamilton on offense. But this is a very weak Montreal defense. They gave Hamilton a lot of opportunities that a strong defense like Winnipeg is not going to give them. So the Ticats have their work cut out for them still. Montreal's defense plagued with injuries this year, plagued with injuries this whole season, really, and especially in that game. So, beaten up, yeah, 44 points, 52 points is great, but they're not going to be able to do it against Winnipeg. Now, having said that, Hamilton's defense bent a lot against Calvillo, and they broke quite a bit. Unfortunately for them, Winnipeg's offense is capable of doing that to them as well. But there is a much less likely chance. Winnipeg's offense is not as well-oiled a machine as Montreal's is. Montreal's is right on the ball. Calvillo was a little uncomfortable at first, but once he got into a rhythm, you could see he was doing some damage. So Winnipeg's got to have a good show on offense. I think with Buck Pierce at the helm, they're going to do it. And I think I'm going to have to take the favorites and go with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. All right, so right on to the next game, the Western Final. As I said last week, I really wasn't convinced that Drew Tate was going to be able to handle the pressure of the playoffs. Turns out I was right, and it's what I've been saying all along. Should have gone with Burris. Hope maybe if he had been in earlier, he might have been able to do something. Ultimately, neither quarterback could get anything done for Calgary. But enough of the Stampeders. Edmonton and BC. So, Edmonton had a decent showing on offense. Now, against BC's defense, they do need to pick it up a little bit. However, Edmonton's offense is definitely capable of doing some damage. They did a lot of damage to Calgary last week. I'm expecting that they can, if they're on their game, can do a lot of damage to BC's defense as well. Now, I think it's all going to really come down to BC's offense and how prepared they are for this game. Edmonton's defense held strong against Calgary last week, but keep in mind they had Drew Tate, a much more inexperienced quarterback than Travis Lulay. And Travis Lulay, despite the fact that he's not one of the veterans in the league, Travis Lulay does have a lot of presence of mind, and he does have a lot of ability. I think he's kind of mature beyond his years, if you will, and he's definitely capable of making those big plays right when BC needs them. So that I think is going to be the key in this game to watch. You're going to have to watch Travis Lulay, see how Lulay can do under the pressure of the playoffs once again. I think he can do a good job. He knows how important this is for this BC Lions team. Again, their last game that they played, they put up 43 points. Again, though, against a Montreal defense that has been beaten up this season, Edmonton's not going to give them that many opportunities. However, I think BC can capitalize. Ultimately, I think BC's offense can dominate Edmonton's defense, and I think it's going to mean they're going to score a lot of points. And I'm going to have to go with the BC Lions to win this one. So those are my picks in case you missed them. Winnipeg over Hamilton, BC over Edmonton. So my pick this week for the Grey Cup matchup is I think it's going to be a Winnipeg versus BC Grey Cup, which would be very, very interesting. So we'll have to see how that goes. Anyways, once again, I apologize for last week's video. This one I will make sure gets up in time and in its entirety. So that's it. I'll see you next week for the Grey Cup.